Hello, Matthew Williams here, bringing you a video to talk about the Freemasons and some bits and pieces connected with that. I've got to just bring up Firefox a second because that's important to this, and I have to shut Firefox down before I try to do these videos, otherwise I can't get my preview window and I can't tell what I'm doing. So basically somebody sent me an email, and this email from Busty Taylor was talking about the American Senate. And in the background I noticed something kind of interesting, and this started me off on a little voyage of discovery. So I'm going to take you on that voyage with me now, back to where I actually found out some more interesting stuff about the Freemasons. So I thought I'd just do this for you. So here we go. Right, this is my email program. I better just zoom this down so you don't see who the other emails are from, because you know people don't like you sort of publicizing that. But anyway, I was sent this email which was talking about Senate bill rewrite, lets feds read your emails without warrants. Okay, it's you can have a look at it by Declan McCulloch. So anyway, but what I was interested in was, you see, most people would just look at this picture and they'd go, yeah, right, okay, bloke there talking about, losing your rights. Senator Patrick Leahy said, his bill boosts American email privacy protections, whilst in fact it isn't taking them all away, because this guy is a cunt. Yeah, but anyway, I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is what's going on up here. I'm interested in these little designs and patterns, right? Because on the first, glance, you might not think anything of it, but this is inside the Senate, and these are the ceilings, which look like they might be golden, even, might have golden adornments. But where I became interested, if we zoom in and have a little look, is, can you see what they are? Can you see it? Can you see what these are? They're swastikas. Can you see it? They're swastikas. Right? And there's a swastika there, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it repeats, and it just carries on. You can see it quite well there, look. See how it goes there, and it goes to the right. Now this is how you know you're dealing with a swastika, because a swastika is in fact an ancient Indian thing, and it's supposed to be a representation of the sun and the energy emanating from the sun, and how that's good. But the Indian representation will be, it goes out and to the left. So the basically, imagine, these bits are going up and to the right, as you can see. So in that, if I have to follow it, they go up and to the right. So I'm mimicking it now. So I go up and to the right. You can see them, yeah, and they go down and that way. So they're basically going clockwise. Okay, now that is supposed to be the evil representation, i.e. take the positive representation, which is the anti-clockwise one in the Indian, and flip it, invert it. So instead of going anti-clockwise, which is good for the Indian, so they say, you're now going clockwise. Now that's what you've got up here in this. So I thought, well, let's go and have a look then, and let's see what's out there and see if we can spot anything. So I went and had a look on the internet and I tapped in stuff to do with the swastika first. So let me just bring these along. Some of these are going to take a little bit of time to come up because I had to close down El browser. So here we go. So we go across. This is the Nazi representation of a swastika. As you can see, from this here, it's basically going clockwise. So these arms come out and they crawl clockwise. Okay, and now that's the negative representation. As you can see, there's some buildings have even been built like swastikas, which is, I think this is a Navy barracks, and it's built like a swastika in the United States. But if we say swastika, just the original swastika, and we have a look at its early sort of representations, you've got Hopi ones, Christian ones, which Tibetan ones, and Islamic ones. And I think they've got this wrong, actually. I think they got this wrong, because they got it going round clockwise as well. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting anyway, there were swastikas up there, because I got a feeling it goes round the other way if it's supposed to be positive. Well, that's the Greek one. So, I don't know, maybe they've got this wrong, these people. But if I say Indian swastika, no, it goes to the right as well. So I'm talking out of my butthole. But anyway, this is, oh, there we are, look. The Indian swastika, you see. So I was right. So let's have a look. Here it comes. So the Nazi one goes clockwise and the Indian one goes anti-clockwise. So I wasn't talking completely out of my arse. You know, they no longer use it. It says because of the ill fame gained by the Nazis in World War II. So, but then I thought, right, okay, where else am I going to find information about the Senate then, and what might be up there in the Senate? So I tapped it into Google and I came up with some other bits and pieces. Let's have a little look. It's thinking about it. And I got something completely different, but let's come back to that in a minute. I'll just move this out of the way. This is the one I started with first off. And I found this, which I thought was kind of interesting. This is on Flickr. And if you want to go to it, it's actually, its address is up here, if you want to have a look at it. Flickr.com, photos Morrison 28173636661. Anyhow, as you can see, these are stained glass windows in the Senate, and they're based on the honeycomb, which is quite a well-known sort of Freemasonic and Illuminati sort of symbol, which contains the six-sided hexagon. And the six-sided hexagon, it becomes then the Star of David or the Seal of Solomon, because of the up pyramid and the down pyramid that exists inside it. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And then I got a different Senate. I got one in Canberra and the Parliament building. And I thought, ooh, what's this? Senate building, Parliament in Canberra for Australian Parliament. Ooh, this looks interesting. This is on the roof. You know, and you've got a pyramid here which stops, and look at another pyramid here, which is the top part. Look, it has been chopped off by this, which is representational of something else, which encompasses taking the top off this pyramid. But look, it's all in here. And then I thought, oh, look at this here. This is like a curve. It's like a curve. So this is, and then you can see it on the curve here as well. So on the side, so you've got that curve on the left, and then you can see it here on the right, and you can see it's like a ball. I thought, so this looks like a ball supposed to be suspended in negative space, i.e. it's not actually there, it's showing you what isn't there, but is representing something that's in a different space, a different dimension than, you know, negative space. And it's got this sort of ball structure which is held above it, possibly like an inverted negative sun, or possibly like an eye. So then I thought, right then, what is this bloody building, you know, this Parliament building? And tapped it in, and I had a little look, and lo and behold, you come up with this. And I thought, fucking hell, this is nuts. What's all this then? You know, and look at what website this is. This is the Church of Scientology for Canberra. And they're like going, oh, isn't it great? Look, isn't it wonderful? You know, they've got this like lovely design for their Parliament. Isn't it fucking great? You know, and I'm thinking, well, looks a bit OTT to me, so let's get in a bit closer. So I had to look at the outside of the building, and you get this, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, look at this in the middle. There's a bloody big pyramid here, again using negative space. It's not filled in, which tends to mean in Illuminati symbolism, if you leave something out, or you create like lines but don't fill them in, you're using negative space, which means that it's not complete. The cycle isn't complete. Okay, so basically when the cycle becomes complete, you would fill it in. Yeah, so this is something in construction but hasn't been fully realized yet. So I had another look, and here we are again. It's like, this is just so fucking freaky. You know how blatant this Freemasonic symbolism is. The whole Parliament building is based on pyramidal structures, and here we are at the top of this building is the cutout I was telling you about with the sphere that doesn't actually exist. You know, it's negative space. So the pyramid is cut off by a sphere. So you've got one cut off by a sphere, and you've got another pyramid over here that's cut off at the top, you know, which is like on the back of the dollar bill, and then you got this one which is not filled in, you know, which is not filled in here, and you've got this whole pyramid down here which goes across the top and comes back down, you know, which is like a cut-off pyramid. I mean, you know, Christ, it's bloody mad, you know, that the people just allowed this to happen, you know, and sort of use public money to build a fucking Freemasonic worship temple out of their government building. You know, I mean, Christ, is bad enough in America, but, you know, Australia as well. And you can see what somebody's represented here, that you could have the all-seeing eye there in the building as well. So, you know, it just goes to show there's a lot of money being put into this. So I thought, well, okay, let's imagine it is like the United States, and they've obviously planned this for a long time. So I went and had a look for some other bits and pieces and found a map of the area, which is where this is an old map of Canberra, and designed by the street plan was designed by a guy called Walter Burley Griffin, and he was apparently an American Freemason. So, you know, he's come along and he's gone, right, I'll fucking sort out your little fucking shitty city, and I'm gonna Freemasonic it up for you. And so he basically did it like this, and what you've got is the pyramid building is aligned here. So I'll show you on another picture now. We'll come back, see if I can find it for you. And I mean, here's a close-up. This is quite a high-resolution picture, but I'll just show you. This is a close-up of on top of the Parliament building, just showing you the grass areas and then the structures that actually make up the pyramid that is missing. And you've got the glass pyramids on the roof. I mean, it's full-on Freemason Central, this place. Going on to another image. This is from above. Now look at this now. Oh my God. Doesn't this not strike you as slightly sinister, this layout? You know, I mean, this is supposed to be a government building, and what the fuck is going on? Look, you've got these pyramids here that from a certain angle, you know, they become complete. Look, the line of the pyramid, which is now, you know, in the penis configuration. If you take the photo from this angle, the lines up here actually complete on the top. So you get the completion of the pyramid, but still cut off, you know, which is this upper area, you know, is considered a cut out. And you know, you've got the repeat pyramid down here, repeat pyramid again in this area, and you've got these swathing. You've got this thing here, which I think personally looks representative of an hourglass. So it's almost like time, you know, and you've got the sand at the top of the hourglass, and it will come through and then fall down here at the bottom of the hourglass, you know. So it's almost like as if Freemasons are talking about, you know, something they're doing with time. And you've got the government buildings on the left and the government buildings on the right. Here's that pyramid building with the sphere taken out of the top, and here's the pyramid building with the top cut off. So, you know, carrying on, I had another look, and this is an old photo which, you know, shows you a little bit more of the layout. And I mean, I just find this kind of freaky. I mean, but what you can see here now in this photo, which then made me think, is look, the way roads go out. The roads go out at the same angles that the edges of this pyramid do. So they go out, and I thought, hang on then, let's have a look at a street map. So I had a look at a street map, and I found this, and it's a site called Seeker 401 on WordPress, and it's called The Occult History of Canberra. I won't read it out to you, I'll let you go and have a look because there's a lot there. And basically talking about the pyramid structures here, as you can see, pyramid above and pyramid below. Now, they didn't actually get to finish it quite like they wanted to, but part of the implied imagery is there in the construction layout for Canberra, and it's all hexagonal again. You see, hexagons, six-sided. Remember the number 6? You know, hexagons, six-sided. Yeah, so it's all based on hexagons, and when we're talking about hexagons, we're talking six-sided. We come back to the roof of the Senate, your honeycombs, your six-sided. Yeah, so it's all sort of flows together. Now, I brought up a Google map thing as well. If you type in Parliament Canberra, yeah, and you zoom in basically on Canberra, you can see right where the water is, because it's always really important to have these. They have these things near a river, and look, this is a serpentine-like river. Yes, serpentine-like river that comes through, and right on the river, right on the water area, is the hexagon. Yeah, the hexagon here that points straight across the water. Look, to the building, which is the Parliament building, which is in a pyramid. It's in a pyramid, and these are the roads I was telling you actually extend out. So it does follow pretty much the plan that they were using. And down here you've got the parks, which are represented in the earlier plans that they were trying to do. They were trying to put the parks in the circles, but all done in this sort of six-fold geometry with the pyramid at the center. Now, bear that in mind. That is important because we're going to come back to it in a minute. But a good thing about Google Maps is you can actually zoom in and you can have a good look. But if you press it onto Earth mode, Google Earth, it will fire up and it will give you a 3D plan that you can actually spin. If you hold your mouse control down, you can actually sort of move it around and have a good look around and view it from different angles and sort of see if you can spot anything that makes any sense, you know. But as you can see, if we spin it down, now you can quite clearly see the roads which go out into the distance along these things, and we can take a run out on the road, which is here, and come to that park, and you can see it's a hexagon. Can you see it? Can you see the hexagon? Hexagon. So the street layout of this city has been made out in this fashion, which is hexagonal, with this big pyramid that's up here, you know, and it points out in that direction, and you know, you've got other important buildings lined up as well. See this one, for instance. I'm not exactly sure what that building is, but it obviously looks important. What are we dealing with here? It's just a church, is it, or something? I don't know. Maybe we need to put it on map mode and it'll tell us what it is then. The Australian War Memorial. So there we are, that's the Australian War Memorial. But, you know, it's in a crescent. And anyway, so what I was thinking is, what does this mean? You know, is this important? Again, you know, these designs that they've done, does it mean anything? And I thought, well, let's tap it into Google, because actually I know the answer to this. Because once I spotted this, I thought, well, Buckingham Palace in London. Type it into Google, bring it up on the screen, and there he is, Buckingham Palace. And spotting anything just yet? Oh, let me bring it over here so you can see it a bit better. But are you spotting anything pretty obvious from this? Let's just zoom it back out. Yeah, doesn't look very obvious from there, but if you put it on satellite mode, it becomes really obvious. Spotting it yet? What's all this up here? What's all this? Let's go in a bit closer and a bit closer. What's all this then? Look. It's a pyramid with the top cut off, the all-seeing eye, or the eye at the top, or could be interpreted as rays of the suns, or sun, corona around the top, and pyramidal structure going down the sides. So it's held within the pyramid. Yeah, held within the pyramid. You know, don't know. What do you reckon? Important, right? And we've got a river here. You know, a little little boat lake called the Serpentine in one of the parks. You see it, the Serpentine. It says there, right? And as some of you may or may not know, the good old river that runs through London, the River Thames, used to be referred to as the Isis, River Isis. So again, look, Serpentine River, you know, and there's the Queen's Palace, you know, basically slap bang right next to the serpent-shaped river. So I kind of find all of this stuff kind of interesting, and I just bring it to your attention so that you will go and look for it in other places, because there's lots of this stuff out there. And there was something else actually. Where have I lost it? There was some other stuff as well. I found some interesting stuff on the Freemasons, and there's a talk on 9th of December 2012, 11 till 6 at the Connaught Rooms, Great Queen Street, London. And Great Queen Street just happens to be, if you bring it up on Google, Great Queen Street happens to be where the Freemasonic Church is. So it's the Freemasonic Temple in London. I seem to have lost the pictures I was trying to get hold of earlier on. But hey, never mind. There was some stuff to do with the Freemasons and some goats, but I can't find them now. Oh, that's what it was. Here we go. Before I finish, it's funny what an influence you can have on world Freemasonry when your name is Matt Williams and you scream and shout about this sort of stuff a lot, and you do lectures about it and upload them on the internet, and what sort of an effect you can have, because the Freemasons of the United Grand Lodge of England, which is supposed to be the sort of main daddy lodge, you know, or mummy lodge, whichever you wish to prefer to call it, probably daddy because they only let males in really. So they've got this. They used to have this on their website as the main logo for coming onto the website. You know, it's these creatures with red fur on the legs and cloven hooves and angel wings, you know, and then these little angels with their cloven hooves looking over the Ark of the Covenant up here with Jewish writing across the top. Okay, and yeah. So basically, what the fuck is going on here? This was their logo, and this used to be on their website, and it was the first thing you saw when you logged onto the website. And I was screaming about this for years and years and saying, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I even asked Freemasons, what was this? And most of them said, well, we don't know what it is. And one Freemason said, oh, it's cherubim, you know, cherubim and seraphim, you know, it's like sort of lower type angels, you know, that kind of look after things. And I'm thinking, I've never seen a representation of an angel in a church which has red cloven hooves and fucking you know, red legs, red fur and cloven hooves. The only thing I know that is a representation of that is a representation of Pan, the ancient god, or Satan, you know, one of the fallen angels. So, you know, I then went and had a little look for this because I thought, well, you know, might be interesting. So I had a little look, and I found on a David Icke forum, I found stuff to do with people riding goats. And I thought, what the bloody hell's all this about? Now, riding goats like this, you know, and it's saying like, are you a Freemason? You know, and she's riding a goat. And I looked into it a bit further and found out that there used to be a saying in the Freemasons that, you know, people outside would take the piss out of Freemasons and say like, oh, you know, they're riding goats because they're into Satanism and stuff like that. So they used to take the piss out of the Freemasons by, you know, talking about this. Look, you know, the devil and his goat and that sort of stuff. And there was a, you know, sort of saying that people used to ride goats in the Freemasonic Church. And strangely enough, I'll just quickly put this up on screen. Look, there's a picture of Pan having sex with a goat. This is David Icke's website, by the way, but we won't dwell on that. But there's a picture of Pan having sex with a goat. But anyway, this thing about goats being ridden in the Freemasonic Church became something that the Freemasons then decided to make a joke out of themselves. So what they would do is, and that's what they say, what they would do is they then represent it, you know, actually, look, it's a goat with a saddle with the Freemasonic logo of the set, square and compass on there, you know, and these are for sale. You can buy these, bronze Masonic figural goat paperweight, yeah, and it's bizarre that they sort of, you know, they would represent this as a joke when it, you know, it's what people are worried about is the fact that they're into Satanism, which I believe they are, and I've talked about this. And it says a little goat history. Look, I'll actually read this out to you, so you can sort of get a flavour of what it's about. This is from a Freemasonic website, and it says the humorous idea that riding the goat constitutes a part of ceremonies of initiation in a Masonic lodge is just a joke and has its real origin in the superstition of antiquity. The old Greeks and Romans portrayed their mystical god Pan in horns and hoof and shaggy hide, and called him goat-footed. When the demonology of the classics was adopted and modified by the early Christians, Pan gave way to Satan, who naturally inherited his attributes. So that to the common mind, right? To the common mind, yeah? Anyway, to the common mind, the devil was represented by a he-goat, and his best known marks were the horn, the beard, and the cloven hooves. Then came the witch stories of the Middle Ages and the belief in witch orgies, where it was said the devil appeared riding on a goat. These orgies of the witches, where, amid fearfully blasphemous ceremonies, they practiced initiation into their satanic rites, and became, to the vulgar and illiterate, here we are again, fucking patronising, to the vulgar and illiterate, became to the Goyen, the cattle, the sheep, became to stupid people, right, stupid, yeah, became to them, right, to the vulgar and illiterate, the type of I can't say it, the type of the Masonic mysteries for I can't fucking read this. As for Dr. Oliver says, it was in England a common belief that Freemasons were accustomed in their lodges to raise the devil. So the riding of the goat, which was believed to be practiced by the witches, was transferred to the Freemasons, and the sayings and jokes about it remain to this day, although belief has long since died out. The lodge goat and lodge rides book plays on the joke of riding the goat, and the plays on plays on the humorous side of life. There we are, and you can see the lodge goat and the goat rides book for many humorous goat riding stories. So basically, these motherfuckers, right? When you go, well, you know, your stuff is satanic, and when you actually go like, well, you spit on the cross, you fucking turn your back on your own gods in order to be involved with the Freemasons. You have to believe in a god to join, but then you have to turn your back on him and worship something else, which goes against your own religion's allowance, you know, for doing that. And you know, you basically then make, when people say, well, you fucking, you know, you're basically doing ceremonies which would incant the devil, and then, you know, bring this stuff in with the goat, and they go, well, we just make a joke out of it, which I think is kind of pretty shitty, but that's what they do. So what I found interesting is when I went onto the United Grand Lodge of England's website for a little look to see what they're up to, lo and behold, guess what? This is their website now. It's all been made very nice and, you know, very, very flowing and you know, none of this sort of slam bang fucking, you know, this bollocks on the front page when you log in. You don't get that anymore. Yeah, you don't get this when you log in anymore. You get this. You get all this. United Grand Lodge of England, you know, and it's all very much, you know, to take you away and not be talking about this satanic stuff now. So we just center the screen up for you. You know, it's all about becoming a Mason, what it is, you know, and university scheme, how if you're going to university they'll let you be a Freemason and help you to get in if you're in university, might even give you a bit of money. You know, there's a video on there about sort of like why this guy here, you know, Chumley fucking Warner, Mr. Toffee, why he gets a lot of love and benefit from being a Freemason and how it's all very interesting and wonderful and all that. Yeah, but what they don't tell you is that, like I say, this motherfucker here used to be on their front page, and what they don't talk about is why they've taken that off. And I just wonder if it's Uncle Matt and other people who literally just pointed out the abundantly obvious fact that putting this on your fucking website is going to make people say, why have they got cloven hooves and why have they got fucking red fur on their fucking legs? So what is the fucking deal? Yeah. So that's just you know, there he is. Why would this be on their website? You know, this is crazy. And as you can see, it's attracted them a lot of flack, as being a Freemason has always done. You know, it's attracted them a lot of flack, and now they've taken it off. So ha 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 ha. So thanks for watching, and you know, just taking you through a little bit of research that I was doing there on stuff. But I hope you find that you know, go and have a look at some of this stuff and see if you can find extra pieces of architecture and stuff out there. Have a look at the Louvre in Paris, the Louvre Museum, art museum in Paris, and have a look at the pyramid outside there. And it, you know, this stuff is everywhere. So thanks for watching.